Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to understand what VLAN is and how they help segment a network, and how devices in different VLANs can communicate using a method called router on a stick or trunk, and then see them in action using Cisco Packet Tracer. So what is VLAN? Before we dive into VLAN, we must understand what a LAN is. LAN stands for Local Area Network, which can be understood as a single broadcast domain, meaning that each broadcast frame sent by one device is received by all other devices within that network segment. In this diagram, you can see two different LANs configured within a single router. So LAN each LAN has its own switch. So a LAN refers to a network of devices that are connected within a single switch. And during mid-1990s, before VLANs were introduced, each LAN required its own dedicated physical infrastructures, including a separate switch and cablings for proper segmentation. Essentially, different LANs needed distinct physical network. However, with the introduction of VLANs, this physical separation is no longer needed, as VLANs allow for logical segmentation within a single physical switch. So what is VLAN? As we have already discussed before, a VLAN is a logical segmentation of a network within a single switch, which means VLAN segments a switch into smaller logical groups by assigning specific ports to specific VLANs, affecting how each Ethernet frame is processed and forwarded. And each VLAN has its own MAC address table, meaning frames are only forwarded within the boundaries of that VLAN based on known MAC entries. By default, all switch ports belong to same broadcast domain, so broadcasts are sent out of all other ports, reaching every connected devices, and then VLAN breaks up the default broadcast domain, allowing us to logically separate devices even if they are physically connected to the same switch. All right, now let's take a look at the case study that we will be using as the example for our network design for VLAN. So it says, you have been hired as a network engineer for a small company called ABC Tech. The office has 4 employees working in two different departments, HR and IT. Right now, everyone's connected through a single switch and they are all in the same broadcast domain, which means the network is messy. HR traffic could be sniffed by IT employees. So here our mission is to design a segmented network using VLAN and allowing them to communicate using a router, but with only one physical link to the router, which can be called as router on a stick. So let's fix ABC Tech's network step by step using Cisco Packet Tracer. So here we are on Cisco Packet Tracer. So to configure VLAN, let's put a switch here because VLAN is configured on the switch. And also let's put a router because we need router for inter-VLAN communication. And now let's put 4 PCs as mentioned in our case study. Now I use copper cable to connect router and switch on these ports. Same thing. I'll connect switch with 4 PCs. And 03 and 04. Now that we have connected all these devices with these cables, now I'll separate. Now let's highlight 2 separate areas with different colors to represent different VLANs. Okay, I'll put green color here and Blue, light blue. The color can be anything. And now let's say this part is IT department, VLAN 10, and this area is HR department with VLAN 20. Now let's create VLANs on the switch. For that we have to click switch and go to the CLI mode tab, and let's enable to go to privilege mode from user mode. And now it's time for the global configuration mode. Configure terminal. In short, we can also write conf t. Now let's create VLAN 10, and the name for it will be IT. Exit, and let's create VLAN 20. Name HR. Exit. Now, as we have created two VLANs, let's verify their existence by using this command show VLAN BIF brief. Yep, here we can see two VLANs that we've just created, and they both are active. Okay, should be fine. Now it's time to assign the switch ports to their respective VLANs. This way, whenever a device connects to one of these ports, it will automatically become the part of the corresponding VLAN. And to do that, now we have to go to the interface. So what interface is this? This is FA01, and this is FA02. Okay. Now let's go again to the global configuration mode, and let's in short we can also write int for interface, or we can also write interface range fa0 slash 1-2. Now this helps us to select multiple interface. This range, it helps us select multiple interface like port 1 and port 2, and to apply same configuration. Now we're inside this range, and now let's do switch port mode access. Now this command, it helps us to select the interfaces to operate as access ports, which means that this command says that okay, this port is for one VLAN only. Now the next thing is switch port access VLAN 10. Let's assign the selected access port to VLAN 10. Okay, exit. Similarly for VLAN 20, let's go to the interface. This is 03 and this is 04. Interface, in short, I'll just write int range fa 0/3 and -4. Similarly, switch port mode access, and let's assign this access port to VLAN 20. Oh, I missed the access. Now, to allow VLAN traffic to pass between the switch and the router, we will configure the link to the router as a trunk port. To do that, we have to exit from here first. And what port is linked? This is gig01. Okay. Now let's enter the interface gig0/1 switch port mode trunk. Now this denotes that this port is for trunk communication. But now it's time for us to configure sub interfaces on the router, one for each VLAN, using .1q encapsulation for inter-VLAN routing. For that, we have to go to CLI mode. Let's do no. Okay. Similarly, let's enable CL and go to conf t
Now I will be creating a sub interface out of the interface gig //.10. Now we insert the sub interface for VLAN 10. Now let's do encapsulation .1q. Now this command, what it does is it enables VLAN tagging on the sub interface, and .1q refers to 802.1 standard, which defines how the VLAN tags are inserted into the Ethernet frames. It's like saying this gate is for traffic going to VLAN 10. And now let's assign. Oh, I forgot to assign the tag VLAN 10. Okay, now let's assign IP address. Format IP address. Okay, let's say it's 192.168. 192.168.10.1. Subnet mask 255.255.255.0. So this would be the gateway IP address for VLAN 10. Exit. Similarly for VLAN 20. Let's go to interface. Let's get on the interface sub interface gig. //0/0 encapsulation .1q. Now let's assign IP address for this sub interface. 20.1. Subnet mask 255.255.0. Now let's exit. So as both these sub interfaces got originated from the interface gig 000 0/0/0, we don't want this interface to stay disabled. So to enable this interface, let's exit and let's go to the interface gig 0, and let's do no shutdown. Now this, after I hit the enter, now you can see all the line will be green. Now you can see it's green now, which means the line is enabled. Now let's assign IP addresses and gateways to each PCs from both the departments. Okay, PC 1, static 192.168. Let's say it's 10.5. Okay, so now the gateway. Now here we must be very careful because we don't want to miss the gateway. So the gateway IP address for VLAN 10 is VLAN 10.1. Similarly for PC 192.168.6.1 gateway. And for PC6, for PC6, that's now it falls under 20.0 network, so that's it. So the IP address we can assign with LSC5 and 2.168.20.1, which is the gateway of VLAN 20. Similarly for this device. Okay. Now it's time to test. Let's try pinging a device from one VLAN to another VLAN to confirm inter-VLAN routing is working fine. So to configure now, let's ping 192.168. Yeah. Ping 192.168 to 20.5. Now this 20.5 lies on VLAN 20. So let's see. Yeah, now finally we can see the replies coming from VLAN 20. So which means our inter-VLAN communication is working because VLAN 20 and 10 seems to be communicating with each other. Well, now that we've successfully configured inter-VLAN communication, the company ABC Tech should no longer be facing the issue they were facing. So if you found this video helpful, or if you feel like I've added some value, then don't forget to like and subscribe for more contents like this. Thank you for watching.